Hi guys, and welcome back into the kitchen. Another recipe for a summertime theme, and this is a smoked aubergine tart. There's lots of tarts that you can do, and you can use lots of different vegetables. I think the aubergine kind of don't use it enough, and it's dead easy to prepare, dead easy to cook, but it tastes really great. So we're gonna start with recapping on short crust pastry. So we're using the recipe out of the Creative Cooking Loprofin. If you haven't got your copy yet, contact your dietitian and they can send you one out. So this is the short crust pastry recipe, and a great thing with this folder is you can take the recipe out, make it, and then you can put it back in there so you can check the ingredients. So in my bowl, I've got 200 grams of Loprofin mix, and then in there, chopped into pieces, I've got 50 grams of butter, and I've got 50 grams of hard vegetable fat. And you've seen me use this before. You get it in the section in the supermarket where the butter and everything is. If you want to use lard, then you can do. But all you're going to do is take the cold butter and the fat, and then just using a fork like me, you can use your hands, and you can also use a processor if you want to do this even quicker. All you're going to do is just rub the fat into the Loprofin mix. In there as well, I've got 2 teaspoons of egg replacer. And if you're doing the savoury, you can add some salt and pepper to this. You can also add some dried herbs, and you can put spices in there as well. So you can add some turmeric if you want a yellow colour to the pastry. You can add some smoked paprika. And to this one, because it's a smoked recipe, I'm using paprika on the aubergines, but paprika in the pastry would be really nice. It's really quick and easy to make, and people worry about pastry thinking, oh, you need to have cold hands, and oh, I can't make pastry, it always goes wrong. But if you just follow the recipe and then follow the tips and tricks, you'll get there. And this is one good thing, that you can batch make, and then you can portion it up, and you can keep it frozen. So then if you want to make jam tarts or individual tarts, apple pie, you've kind of got it in that freezer ready. So that's the fat all rubbed in, and it should look like breadcrumbs. So the texture slightly changed. There's still some lumps in there, which is great for pastry. And then all you're going to do is add in a few tablespoons of cold water. So just add a little bit at a time. I'm just going to bring this together. Use your forks so then your fingers don't get all sticky. And it'll look slightly wetter at first, but that's the Loprofin mix because it absorbs water slightly different than normal wheat flour. So normally you'd add like 2 tablespoons to wheat flour, but with the Loprofin, you slightly need a little bit more. Work it, and you're looking for the consistency as always, and you hear me say this, that it's Play-Doh, but you want it kind of soft enough. When you've let rested it, that will absorb all that water. When you then keep it in the fridge, I'm going to add just a little splash more. Once you start making it, it's really easy to do. Again, work it in, and unlike normal pastry, you can't overwork this. So normally with a wheat flour, the more you work it, the gluten develops. That then makes it a tough pastry. We don't get that with low protein pastry. So it's slightly sticky-ish, but you should be able to roll it in a ball. So then, like that, wrap it in cling film, pop it back in the fridge, because what we want to do is we want to chill down the butter and the shortening to make it easier to roll out. I'm just going to wipe my hands. So yeah, you can rest it, or you can then portion it up, and then you can freeze it until you need it, and then take it out, defrost it, and then it's ready to go. I'm just using a disposable foil tray for this one, because I can portion this up keep it in the freezer, and then when time comes to say I can take out a portion. And all I've done is I've just blind baked this. So I've rolled it out, I've put a piece of greaseproof paper in, and I've weighed it down with some baking beans, put it into a 180 oven, about 10 minutes, take off the paper and the beans, pop it back in for a few more minutes, and that'll just set it. So to go in this tart, which is really, really easy and simple, on the bottom of the tart, I've got an onion which I've just cooked until it's soft. So that's going to go onto the base of the tart. I'm going to just spread that over. I've seasoned these onions as well with just a little bit of salt and some pepper. But I am going to add in just a teaspoon of dried herbs. But again, you can use whatever you want to add into that. And then to make this more smoked, what I'm using is the low protein smoked cheese. This used to come in the Christmas pack, but now they've started selling it all year round. It used to come in a block. Now they've started doing it in these discs, which is great to go on there. So I've got 125 grams of smoked cheese, which I'm just going to lay all the way around the tart. If you can find it in a block, you can just grate it and then pop that over. So it's kind of a twist on a cheese and onion tart, this one. So that's our cheese gone in. And then what I've done is when I was baking the pastry, I sliced an aubergine in half, and then I sliced it into half moons. I then mixed some oil with some smoked paprika, and I just brushed the aubergine on top, and then I baked that in the oven. These are my aubergine slices, which are cooked and cooled. And again, you can do these in advance. What I'm going to do is just lay the aubergine pieces all over the tart. You'll have more time than me to make this look extra pretty. And I've got a little bit of the oil left, which I'm going to brush again over the top just before we bake that again to melt all that cheese into the onions. Again, this is Ty's favourite cheese at the minute, is this smoked cheese. So that's what kind of gave me the idea for the smoked aubergine tart. So let's just push them in a little bit. So that's the aubergines all laid out on top. Again, I'm just going to drizzle a little bit more of that oil over. Because the aubergines are cooked, we're just going to bake them so it's really soft. But at this stage, you can pop this in the freezer and then take it out. It these are great for parties, great for snacks, great for lunch boxes. And then just to finish it off, I've got just a sprinkling of your low-profile Parmesan, which I'm going to just add onto the top. But again, this is optional. You can use mature cheddar in this one. And there's lots of low protein cheeses. This also works really nice with the Mediterranean feta low protein cheese, because again, that melts inside the tart and makes it extra gooey, which I think is why Ty likes it. Again, freezes really well. So you can freeze it at this stage, you can bake it and then portion it out, and then you can wrap it in cling film when it's cold, and then you can freeze it. So there's your aubergine tart ready. Dead simple, dead easy. As always, recipes on Low Protein Connect. Again, if you need your folder, just ask your dietitian and they can send you one out. If not, I'll see you next time back in the kitchen for some more summer recipes. See you later. Bye.